welcome to Witchy Wednesdays. I'm Jacy Moonspirit.
I'm Sings with Owls.
And today we are doing an autumn tarot spread by Healer Josephine for you guys. So we'll be reading the Witchy moon glyph tiles today. And we've just got a simple 5-question reading. So if you guys would like to have a free tile pulled for you, just message in on any of our live streams and we will have that pulled.
Happy October.
Happy October. Would you like me to read the cards? Or
Sure.
read the questions?
Sure.
Since they're in my handwriting and not your script today. What does autumn represent for me spiritually? That's number 1. Number 2, how can I best harness the energies of autumn this year? Number 3, what needs to be fully developed or ripened in my life? 4, how can I welcome the necessary decay and change of this season? 5, what must I let go? So, go ahead and start us off, Lauren.
What does autumn represent for me spiritually?
Okay. And so these are a weird triangle, and the small point goes to the top.
Awesome. Good to know.
So you know if you're reading a reversal or not.
Yeah.
How can I best harness the energies of autumn this year?
What needs to be fully developed or ripened in my life?
How can I welcome the necessary decay and change of the season?
Okay. And what must I let go?
Okay. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit because my head's getting cut. Awesome. All right, so our first rune, I'm moving these down so that I can flip back and forth as we need to because we have downsized a lot of our props. So our first rune is going to be blood. So what does autumn represent for me spiritually? Blood. To me, that represents family because they're the first group that we share traditions with. So a lot of people, as autumn comes in, from my family especially, try to make contact, I would say. Like they reach out because they celebrate Thanksgiving, they celebrate Halloween, I celebrate Samhain. So it's a lot about just contacting each other back and forth. This is also a good time if you do work with spirits to tap in and speak with your ancestors. For example, the Day of the Dead in Spain and Mexico is a very popular traditional celebration of life, not just death, but life, caring for your loved ones, giving them offerings on the ofrenda and things like that. So I would say that the blood has as much to do with a family as it does the traditions. So we all have traditions that we give into around autumn, and we're noticing what that means for all of us, I would say.
All the sweaters and cocoa and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Pumpkin
Turkey
pie.
and making the stuffing and the pumpkin pie and the bobbing for apples. We already know that things have changed. So how
Bobbing for apples are probably out this year.
Well, trick-or-treating is probably also out this year.
But
considering it.
It was good back in the day.
Right. So how can I best harness the energies of autumn this year? And we see, I believe this is fire. Indeed, it is fire. So to me, I focus a lot on hearthcraft in the fall because to me, fall is one of those periods where I start insulating the family. So I do a lot more protection magic. I start doing more candle magic. I work a lot in the kitchen in the fall and the winter, more so than in the spring and the summer.
I also thought about, you said fire, and my immediate thought was bonfire.
Right.
Like outside, a big fire, a bunch of wood.
Exactly. Lots of people are doing homecoming celebrations as well. Like high school, back when you were in high school, you went to homecoming and things like that. Yes. There's always the tailgating parties and the bonfire and the food and the community. And so part of my craft is insulating the home so that as the community gathers, Everybody feels safe, but the space is still honored. The people who live there are still honored. Traditions are carried forward. It's also a big creative time.
Yeah.
Like decorating for Samhain, putting together the menu for Snarfenhagen, as we call it, because we don't celebrate
I
Thanksgiving.
have already been thinking about that today.
When isn't she thinking about food?
You would think I'd be huge as much as I think of food.
But if you eat more, your metabolism is faster. Helpful tip. I lost 60 pounds. I know what I'm talking about. Just eat. Eat healthier, but eat more as well. So, number 3, what needs to be fully developed or ripened in my life? And we see time. So, to me, that's quality time. That's time for my projects. That's time for me. Whatever time means to you. And everybody has the perspective at times that, and that's a pun, everybody has the perspective that they never have enough time to do the things they want to do, or they never have enough time to get where they want to be in life, or that the time for their dreams to be realized is past because they missed that golden opportunity. But time isn't a straight line. It's a concept that we were given so that we would be able to understand the way events occurred. To me, if you and I both have stories on the same day, it's not the same because we started our days at different points. Things happen to us at different times. So it's all relative. How you spend your time is relative. How you quantify or qualitate your time, and I'm sure I'm making up words at this point, but the point is the way you spend your time matters, and how much time you think you have matters. So spend it wisely. It's currency. If you give something too much time and attention, like scrolling through Facebook for 4 hours a day, rather than reaching out to that friend that you really wanted to set up that dinner with, that's the kind of things I'm talking about. It doesn't always have to be a lot of extravagance, but it does have to be something you put effort into. Time and effort is very important at this kind of a junction. It's harvest time. You have to go out and put in time and effort to get the things out of the field that you work so hard to grow.
You got to go pick your pumpkin.
You got to go pick a pumpkin. You got to
get your
sheathe
gourds,
the grain. You have to get your gourds stacked. Get your witch on the broomstick. There's lots of things you have to do.
Lots of things.
But it's not supposed to be an overwhelming time of the year. This is just
fun.
The rewards, the harvest. This is like the 9 of Cups. You work really hard for it. You celebrate the achievement. So number 4 is, how can I welcome the necessary decay and change of the season? And we got horse. Seems a bit confusing at first glance, but run with me here. Horse is about movement, power, and the dream. And so to me, what that represents is that as we move through seasons physically, as we move from winter back to winter, we have to understand that life also moves in these phases. So we have to make a move. If something's no longer serving us, if it's meant to fall away and it's no longer part of who we are, we have to gracefully allow it to do so. We also have to take into account that horses made it so that people could be transported from place to place quickly. And then as they were able to move themselves, they learned they were able to move goods. Then we started using them for mail. And then we've started using them in this country for a lot of different things. Back in ancient Rome, your carts used to be 2 horses wide. It's the same measurement that we see in a lot of other things like the Model T Fords and stuff like that. Cycles will come back up, but the idea is that when you get a horse, you are empowered to make the change you need to make your dream a reality. Because you'll start getting, a lot of people have had very lucid, intense dreams lately. And that tells me that this is a time where we are naturally being taught by our higher selves how to let go of the things that are dragging down our vibrations. Food for thought. To go with your lovely apples and gourds and pumpkin pie this season. So what must I let go? And we got the sword. I think this means that we have to let go of control. We have to let go of toxic bonds. We have to let go of attachments to stress. Like, we have to stop predicting that we will be stressed about something. Like, oh, if I don't get out the door at 7:30 this morning to get to work by 8, then I'm just going to be so stressed. That is a curse. That is a problem. That is something you need to work on. That is negative self-talk, and that is a bad habit that you can walk out of. Can't is another bad habit that you can walk out of. Being ill because something didn't go your way doesn't make it go your way. It just makes you ill, and it drags your vibration down. So try being mindful and examining the situation by letting go of the expectations. This is something I personally have been thrown under the bus for recently, because I have been quite stressed because things didn't work out the way I thought they should have because of expectations I told myself, expectations I was given. It's kind of like when you're a knight and you're handed a sword and you're told, go whack this thing 1,000 times and learn how to use this and pick it up and take it into the battle. We don't always have to be on the battlefield. This is autumn, so this is moving into winter. This is the time where we naturally regress back into ourselves a little bit. We retreat back to our home centers and we start working on things from the inside out again. You don't want to take a sword and turn it on yourself at this point. You want to meet yourself in the middle with diplomacy and say, hi, self, I care for you deeply. You're the only me I have. Let's work on our stuff right now. So that's our offering to you. That was our autumn tarot spread by Healer Josephine today. We hope that you guys liked it. Does anybody want to have a free one-tile rune pull today? You want to put these back in?
Mm-hmm. I was just making noise for people. Noise is nice.
Mm-hmm.
For tomorrow.
Okay. Let's have a look in the book.
Yeah.
Will. So tomorrow is Thursday, or as we call it here, Tarot Talk Thursday. This is a day where your decisions and your perspective create your reality in a very visceral way. So if you have a project you're very passionate about or that you think would really benefit your life, your ability to look at yourself kindly, self-care, good in the community, go for it. Tomorrow is a great day to go for it. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say about will. I know that where there is a will, there is a way. So find your will.
Yes. And there's will in everything. It's will to get up and say your affirmations. It's will to get up out of the bed, period. It's will to go take your bath. It's will to go to work. So find your will and do what you got to do to move forward.
And will doesn't always have to be about force. You can have a strong will by holding tight to the things that you believe in that are actually serving you as well. That's another perspective that you can take with it. It's not just yang all the time. Sometimes it's no, that this is who I really am at my core, and I have the right to defend my sacred space as well. So, did anybody want a free one-tile reading? I don't see anybody requesting one. I see that we have a visitor right now on one of our Facebook pages. If you guys are listening in the audience, we hope that you had a wonderful time joining us back for our first Witchy Wednesday in a month and a half.
Yep, a month and a half.
Yeah.
I think we tried to do one.
We did a tarot talk when we first went on the road, but it didn't go well. So now that we're more even-keeled in our flow, we're back, guys. We're back. We're doing the thing. We're bringing you the witchy wisdoms.
So peace and blessings, and join us tomorrow for Tarot Talks.
Yes. Join us for Tarot Talk Thursday with my bestie, Sacred Owls, myself, Jacy Moonspirit. We'll be reading tarot and oracle cards for you, so tune in. We hope you learned something and that you have a blessed day.
And get your free card pull tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Everyone.